Look, I'm going to tell you the number one reason why I make so much money and why I'm able to accomplish so much is because I simply don't care about what other people think of me. That's it. I simply don't care about what other people think of me. And, you know, the reason why so many people have a hard time with accomplishing the things that they want and why it's so difficult is because of that one thing right there. Like, they just worry too much about what is their family going to think, or what are their neighbors going to think, or what are their friends going to think, or what are they going to think, what is their spouse, their husband going to think, you know, if they want to try this new business, or if they want to start posting online, or if they want to become a social media influencer, or if they want to start a business online. What are other people going to think? I did a podcast interview yesterday. I can't wait for you guys to see this because it was incredible. It was 2.5 hours. I did it with a good friend of mine, someone that I grew up with. Well, this is a great looking park out here. I never noticed that. And we were just in flow state, and we were just going and going and going and going. And this is a guy who said, "Hey, Ty, you know, I've followed you. I've known you since you were a teenager, and I've known about the hardships and the obstacles and the trials and tribulations that you've gone through. How did you get to this point where you've made millions of dollars, you've impacted the lives of hundreds of thousands, probably millions of people across the planet, you've spoken all over the place, and you're still going? In your 50s, you're still going." And I had to sit and I had to think about that, because I have had a lot of obstacles in my life, right? You guys know I have sickle cell anemia. You know I grew up dead broke. You know my father was shot and ended up dying from, you know, that being someone trying to rob him. You know that I lost my mom, and you know that, like, all of these different excuses. Growing up as a black man, if you want to use that as an excuse as well, right? Not going to college, not, you know, having a college or a degree, staying back in high school not once but twice. He says, how did you overcome all of this stuff, being hospitalized hundreds of times? And my answer was, number one, believing in myself. I think that people have to have something to believe in, whether it's your faith, your God, yourself, right? For many times, you know, I had to believe in myself. Many times I'm laying on a hospital bed and I'm crying, and you know, I didn't think that I would ever make it out again. Didn't think that I would see my children. I remember us being on a cruise a couple of years ago, 2020, as a matter of fact, January 2020, and that ended up going into a sickle cell anemia crisis. And got so bad that, you know, it was the day that we boarded the cruise. I get on that ship, and you know, my wife and I, we go out, and I'm with a couple of business partners, and we go out, and that night I go into this crisis. It's like 2-3 o'clock in the morning. My chest is on fire. I'm thinking I'm having acute chest syndrome, which is what kills most people with sickle cell anemia. More people die from having acute chest syndrome when they have sickle cell anemia than anything else. Look it up. Educate yourself on this stuff. And I had been in this crisis for 3 or 4 days on this ship, and I couldn't leave the cabin, and I'm going back and forth in infirmary and down the ship's hospital, and they're taking me out in the hallways on the freaking stretchers. The most embarrassing thing ever, because I'm there with business partners, I'm there with, you know, a few hundred friends, and people are seeing me in my most vulnerable state. And then my wife is seeing me in this state, which she's seen me, you know, dozens of times. But it had gotten so bad. But I remember one night, I'm laying there, and mind you, this is just 5 years ago. I'm laying there 4 years ago, and I'm like, you know, tell the kids that I love them. We have 4 kids. And I'm thinking that I'm never going to see my damn kids again. Never going to see them again. So as I'm on this podcast, he asked me, you know, Ty, I know that you have struggles, right? But you're smiling and you're giving back to people when you have your own things going on. How do you do it? And the way that I do it, and this is how you could do it, is you don't care about what people are thinking about you, all right? The people that are going to hold you back the most are the ones that are closest to you initially. The ones that are closest to you are not going to understand why you have to do this thing. The ones that are closest to you are not going to understand why you can't just be okay with being the person that they've known all their life, or that they've known for the last 5 or 10 or 20 or 30 years. The people that know you the most intimately are the people that just can't. And the reason why is because not only do they think that they're protecting you, right? But they want you to be safe. But it's also a signal to themselves that, look, damn, if he or she could do it, if Roberta could do it, or if John could do it, or if Jane could do it, or if Rebecca could do it, if Ty could do it, then that means that I could shoot for a little bit more too. And people don't want that reality. You scare and you intimidate the hell out of people. When you try to do a little bit more, people start to get so uncomfortable with the fact that you're outside of your comfort zone. You're moving more because it's a reminder that they too could do more. But here's the cool part about this. It's going to be the hardest thing for you because you'll get a lot of resistance. Man, I remember I would have people that were close to me and people that I knew, and they would make their little jokes. Ha ha ha, you're always working. Even on vacation, you work that. Like, they didn't have the understanding that what I do, I love. I love doing this stuff. I love talking to people. I love being able to share. I love helping people to grow and to become better. I love helping people to build out businesses, build out their digital publishing business. This is stuff that I love. I love doing it. I would do it 24/7. I would reach as many people as I possibly can. As a matter of fact, one of my personal goals is to positively impact the lives of 100 million people a year. So when you're doing something that other people don't understand, it is going to frighten them. They're going to be, so thrown off by it. They're going to be, so lost. And they don't mean anything in most cases. Every once in a while, you get a true hater. But in most cases, they don't mean anything by it. They don't mean anything by it. They just don't know what they don't know. And they think that they're helping you out. They think they're saying what they're supposed to say. Right? But here's what happens. When you push through that, and even with the negativity, even with the haters, even with the lack of understanding, when you push through it, those same people, when you start to hit these different levels, they now start to be inspired and motivated and influenced by you. Because now you've proven that, look, I could do it, you could do it as well. Now they see the transformation. They see, look, this is a person that I've known. We used to hang out together. We used to drink together. We used to smoke weed together. We used to chase women together, right? We used to, whatever your vice or whatever it is, right? We used to sit on the couch watching football all day, or basketball, or whatever it is, hockey. We used to sit there and watch movie after movie after movie instead of doing the things that we said that we want to do. We used to just talk about the past and how good it used to be instead of building out the present so that we have this future that's better than our past, right? So by you pushing harder, by you sticking to your guns, you get to really influence people in a way that you would never ever imagine. And the beautiful thing about that is being able to impact and influence people that are close to you. Now, you're not going to be able to hit everyone. There's people that are super close to me that I'm not able to reach because I am too close to them, right? And then there's some people that, regardless of what they see, it just doesn't hurt bad enough. Doesn't hurt bad enough, right? So to get to the levels that you want to get to, you got to stop being just so, you just got to forget about what people think about you. Just forget. People are going to talk about you anyway. They're going to talk about you anyway. That's the reality of it. No one can get past that. People are going to talk about you. They talked about Jesus Christ. What makes you think that they won't talk about you? So if that's what you're afraid of, people whispering and gossiping, what does Rex think he's doing? What does John think he's doing? What does Ray think he's doing? What does Suzanne think he's doing? What does Cynthia think she's doing? What does Caroline think they're gonna talk about you anyway. Why not give them something positive to talk about? You cannot stop that. So if you think that you're going to stop your mother or your sister or your cousins or your aunts or your uncles or some keyboard bandit from talking about you, you're mistaken. And until you get past that, you'll never be successful.